Right, we're ready to do the test ride now. The saddle's girthed, we've got leathers on obviously, and actually I prefer to do this test ride without any form of saddle blanket as long as the horse is not going to object. Some horses take having a new saddle on not easily at all and think they've got some kind of strange lion on their back, in which case we obviously use a saddle blanket. But I'm trying to fit the saddle without a saddle blanket. I find that during the test ride it distorts my eye, it stops me seeing quite as well. The stability of the saddle, it does affect the fit marginally, even a thin one, and I know that the saddle is going to settle sufficiently to allow the use of a thin saddle blanket, which is all that you should really need with a well-fitting saddle. If you need something much thicker and are intent upon using gel pads and the like, then I need to know that too, because I need to make allowances when I fit the saddle for the fact that there is going to be something substantial underneath. But in this particular case, I think this guy is going to be, or this girl rather, is going to be fine without one. She's not going to be oversensitive and buck you off, is she? And then we'll have a look and see exactly what this saddle does when she's actually coming over a bigger fence. Looking particularly at the back of the saddle for any lift as she goes into 2-point. And as I said, I'm going to pop a bit of wool in this so that we've got a before and after photograph, because there just is, whilst it's not really leaving the horse's back in any way, to my mind we could do with just a little bit more support across the front of the saddle. Right, this is post my putting a bit of wool from the stirrup bars forward over the points of this saddle, just to give the saddle a bit more support at the front, hoping that this will still it behind over a fence and reduce the pressure. Just felt the difference immediately and says, oh, it felt like it's new again, which of course is exactly that. This saddle has had 3 months wear. It was purchased in October, the beginning of October, and we're now heading towards New Year. So it's about due for that important first level up, just to make sure that it's still in optimum balance. So we're looking for the rider to be in the shoulder hip heel line, almost however short the stirrups are. And I think we've pretty well got that. That's still, I'm much more satisfied with that. Basically thinking of the saddle in this instance, we know that the saddle's right on the horse. It stood the test of time. The horse has been going very happily in it for nearly 3 months. In fact, yeah, 3 months, and just making sure that it's in optimum balance as they continue their campaign this season. Watch the back of the saddle here. Lovely. Yeah. So you can see just in those months, you haven't really been aware, have you, that the balance was slightly and subtly changing, but it has. After the first level up, hopefully it won't be doing quite as frequently, but it is something that's quite important, and particularly as she gets fitter, and if you go on from your intermediate to doing advanced level and 3-day and stuff, she will undoubtedly become lighter, and she's only 7 years old, so that shape is going to change a bit more again. She will be more greyhoundy. So we need to look at it frequently, not that frequently, but if ever you suspect that you're getting that change in balance again, a saddle fitter or someone who's capable of flocking a saddle needs to come and help you. Okay? We're going to go through all the checks again. Now this horse has been ridden, we've seen the test ride, the saddle is satisfactorily stable, but we are going to check it again to make sure that after the horse has been ridden, that we have the same balance, the clearance, and the same position for the rider. You remember at the beginning how this saddle sat really quite high because this loaded shoulder, typical of the New Zealand sport horse, distorted and held the saddle up high. Now we've ridden, that has completely disappeared, but you can see too that how easily this moves, this front part, so that the shoulder can come back. We're looking for the saddle to be still in exactly the same balance as it was when we started, the shoulder hip heel line of the rider to still be in good line, the cantle to be about an inch above the pommel, which it is, and I will now ask Jess to stand in his stirrups, please. Stand right up, please, honey. I want to show at this point that the saddle does not flip forward. Of course, some weight is taken further forward. That is a fact of life, the very nature of the sport. But the saddle has not lifted at the back, which is very important. If at that point it does, I have to re-flock the saddle. We've already put some wool in this saddle so that we can help to prevent too much forward transference of weight. That's fine, honey, sit back down again. And now I want to look from behind. Right, I'm standing behind the horse here. I'm trying to make sure that the panels are equal both sides, that the rider has not got more weight in one hip than the other, that I can see daylight through the channel, which I can quite easily, and everything looks absolutely set for a successful time with this saddle. I think that just about covers all that I need to do. I'm very satisfied with the way that this is sitting on the horse, and it does show how these New Zealand sport horses can be fitted in a jumping saddle, which is often quite a difficult thing to do.